Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, Stacey, Chris, and I are going to get into P-Valley Season 1, Episode 6. A lot of things going on in this episode. Relationships are developing quite quickly. Apparently, Mercedes and Haley are best pals now as they drive around town stealing money. Beautiful. And all kinds of outfits. They look very beautiful. Different wigs and whatnot. Maine helped him out with multiple IDs. He's doing a lot of more criminal stuff being under house arrest. Is very impressive. Very impressive. So what I like the Thelma and Louise line. I know we mentioned that in our preview video. So then Mercedes tells Autumn, we can be Thelma and Louise. And I was like, they killed themselves at the end of that movie. I don't know if that was the best role models that they should be going for.
Well, it's no different from people like always say, "Yo, I'm gonna be like Scarface." People know how that is.
Right.
But people all the time say, "Yo, it's like, yo, y'all come at me. I'm shooting y'all all up like Scarface." Even damn well knowing how like more goons came out. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Just because they went out like gangsters, I think that's really what it was. It was the fact
I would suggest as two black women, they should have brought up, set it off. I think that would have been better.
Yeah, but Jada wasn't hood in that. So that's the thing. She was. Let's be honest. She was weak in that movie. It was the ones who actually died that was hood. That was like Queen Latifah.
Vivica Fox. Vivica Fox. She was hard.
Jada was just like more like, no, we should think about it, Cleo. We should think about it.
In the end, like Autumn, Jada rode out into the sunset. Jada rode out into the sunset with a bag full of money with a man waiting for her back on in sound. He was like, bye, baby.
What's her name, August? Was his name August?
No. Blair Underwood was sitting up there like, why? Where's my girl now? She's in Mexico with some money.
Gonna be 'cause out of my life.
No, Chris. No, Chris. But both genres had banging soundtracks. I mean, if for that, you know what I'm saying? So,
the 90s had great soundtracks.
What's up?
All the movies in the 90s had great soundtracks.
Yeah. Waiting to Excel, great soundtrack. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But anyway, we digress. So we got, let's get into Autumn. So what's her real name?
Haley Colt.
And now we are seeing her on wanted posters or missing posters, as you see at the end. She's gonna be wanted.
Huh? You see that? Like you saw all those it was like junk stuff, and then her thing. I'm like, have you really trying to like
find somebody?
Wouldn't you want to like kind of put it more in plain view?
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? That's the only thing. And then on top of that, the photo, that thing like look borderline like black and white.
Yeah.
In 2020, I'm like,
they could have did better.
Yeah.
They got amp. What's up, Stacey?
Saves on printing costs.
Oh, that's true. Save on printing house. I mean, Chuckaloosa is a poor ass city. You know what I'm saying? They got to work with what they got. You know.
They ain't got no Kinko. Well, all right, true.
How about some Amber Alert or some shit? Be like, hey, this woman's been missing for 2 months. Please help me find my wife. Or the love of my life. Oh, he said Montavia said that was his wife.
I think she's a little bit old to be called to have an Amber Alert, but point taken.
All right, black women go missing. We need to care. She needs to be on TV. But it's interesting. So Autumn, she's gathering up all her funds to therefore get out of town. As she told Andre over the phone, please remember me as the memory that you always will have.
Go to the mounds. Remember me. When you think of my mounds, go to the mounds.
They had 2 dates at best. But she said, no, don't. Just remember the good times we had. And I was like, all right. Shit.
All the times I bought your food. This is the second time that's happened too.
Yeah.
Like when she was with Mississippi and all them, like, this is one of them. Like, damn, like, the hell, like, yeah, I'm gonna always be with Autumn. Then I'm gonna always like sit with Autumn and food. If there's a chance that Andre gonna be there, and y'all exchange looks, the next thing I know, bill was paid. Shit, all right, okay. I'm taking Autumn and Ruth Chris next. I hope he there too.
Ruth Chris and Chuckaloosa. But they got some free food. We saw some bonding. I mean, on a serious note. So we got Autumn and Mercedes. They were at Mercedes' house. As they get to know each other, they're sharing information. They bond over the loss of their daughters in different ways.
Yeah.
So you saw Autumn, she reveals that her stage name Autumn is actually her daughter's name. But yeah. Anyway, so that turned into Mercedes also just loss of her daughter. So you got Terica. She went to go see her at tennis practice with Shell, whatever her legal name is, we don't know.
Probably like Michelle or
I'm thinking Michelle, right? We'll get to that.
Something like that.
We'll get to that. But they still had a moment, right? And then, so looking at the rooms and, and so Autumn's still Haley's going through the issue of, at least you can see your daughter. I can't, saying, and you gotta do everything you can to get your daughter back. And I thought that was really touching,
Yeah. Poor Mercedes. She didn't realize, I mean, she thought she had it bad with her incident. And then I guess when Autumn gave that line, she was like, oh, so yeah. Yeah, Mercedes. Mercedes is a tough cookie, but she at least right now she's all right. She's all right.
It could be worse. How about that? I mean, it could be a lot worse in her situation.
With that situation.
Yeah.
Well, who's out of that bad situation though? Patrice. She's out of that situation. She's out of jail.
Yes.
Who posted that bail? Tell them.
Uncle Clifford.
Wow.
Uncle Clifford will I believe that Uncle Clifford is going to work with Patrice to get the people to vote. She's going to use Patrice to get the church people. She will get the club people, and then together they will rally the people to, say, hey, we need to stop this casino coming to Chucalissa because it's going to destroy all these businesses. It's not just the paint is going to go down. All of our businesses are going to go down. And the black community is being discounted. They're not getting as much money as the white people are. So once that becomes public knowledge, it'll be a lot easier to rally the people, to the cause.
Well, yeah, they come. Yeah, but she also did have that line saying that niggas don't vote. You know what I mean? And I don't know what she got a brand new church. All of a sudden, she expecting to have like a whole bunch of a congregation in the next. So you know what I mean? Well, I looked at actually, I didn't even think about that angle. That's actually an interesting angle. I didn't even think about that. What I thought was the real reasoning of her, having Uncle Clifford bail her out was knowing that she brought a brand new building. She was going to somehow squeeze her, take that from her, and that was going to be the new Pink. That's what I thought. I thought she was going to try to use knowing damn well because she, Uncle Clifford ain't no fool. Like, where that money came from. That money actually came from, Mercedes. What I mean? And so that's how. But actually, I didn't. That's a good angle too. I didn't even think about that. So, yeah.
And then even with that, she knows Patrice's motivation, right? Like the church is her motivation, right? So, and then she knows she don't have a church. She has a building, which she probably can't take ownership because again, if Mercedes actually goes to the authorities and explains the whole situation, if the pastor comes and explains that building, that property was paid for money that Patrice stole from his church, that's gone. He knows Patrice has the ability to motivate people. In the middle of a church, in the middle of a prison, that she didn't know anybody there. She spoke enough that those women stood up to be like, I want the Lord in my life. Like, between singing and preaching, she knows how to motivate people. So I think they can kind of harness that ability and get the word out for those who won't listen to Uncle Clifford. I think so. You got to bond together for the common enemy, which will be the casino. And so I thought it was kind of interesting. So we got to see where that goes. When you talk about Uncle Clifford, you got to talk about the love of her life, which is Lil Murder, who apparently has built a marriage of convenience with Mississippi.
Like a stage thing. Yeah, it's more stage, but yeah.
Yeah. But
not that everybody else knows though. That's the thing. Like they're and who knows, is it going to stay like that? Is it going to just stay like right now they're doing that because like, hey, you know what, this is going to bring, more girls to your page and all this other stuff. Who knows if that turns into something else? That's what I'm wondering.
But it's interesting that that Stacey said it as we were talking about we're doing a preview for this video, that it was Mississippi that was the brains behind this operation. It was her that came up with the idea that, I'm a dancer that needs a soundtrack. I can take Lil Murder, who clearly is not into women, but that's okay. And we can shape an image that together we can move forward. But again, people that know her know she has 2 kids. She already got a baby daddy who is Derek, who's still beating her, that needs to be addressed, I guess. If we're gonna do that. And then she went so far as to make out with him, like with Lil Murder on camera. What's gonna happen when Derek sees that video? What's gonna happen when Diamond sees that video? What's gonna happen when Uncle Clifford sees that video? Like these are people that are going to be invested in whether or not this relationship is real or not.
I think Derek's going to be the only one that's going to do something about it. Diamond kind of just minds his own business. He gets upset or whatnot, but Diamond ain't going to do nothing. Diamond, if that was the case, Diamond would have already done something about the same man who be kissing all up on Mississippi already and laying hands on. You see what I'm saying? Mm. So you really think a video of her doing a little makeout session is? I don't think so. Diamond, nothing. Clifford, I feel like it's going to be an easy conversation, but look, we're doing this for clout. You know what I mean? Derek is the only one, and that's why like that one girl said it was like, "Ooh, what you think Derek going to think?" He's the one that's going to be the one that's going to have issues. You know what I mean? That's going to be interesting. And I just find it, and that's why it was very convenient that Autumn said, "Hey, unlike Mercedes, I share my locker." And what was in that locker, ladies and gentlemen?
The gun.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Who's going to get it? I have a new theory. Who might be shooting Derek now? Or how you going to die?
So what's your theory now?
Ain't no theory. Mississippi just kill him. I don't think really just point blank, yeah. Yeah, the fact that she showed the gun or whatnot, and then it just all of a sudden it was like, all right, now we're going to the next scene. Like just like that. And I'm like, oh shit, this is coming back around. They, you know what I mean? So
true. But as we said, that gun could be used to kill Montavious because he's still out there, and eventually he's going to catch up with Haley.
No, Mississippi would definitely shoot Derek. I mean, if the push comes to shove, Autumn would definitely do that.
But then we got Uncle Clifford. So Uncle Clifford introduces us to his grandmother, played by Loretta Devine, very expertly.
And surprisingly, it wasn't exactly how we thought, right? We theorized last week that that he was going to try to hit her up for money. Like, she was going to be like, "What'd you do to my club, boy?" and all this. Find out what?
She's the reason.
She's the reason why the place went down in the first place, and he was there to kind of help it out. You know what I mean? Or attempt to.
Try to.
Yeah,
They both had their bad financial moves. She just did more of them. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, they both made too many loans on top of loans when it comes to the place, and they just can't hold it up, anymore.
Right.
But it was, and we're talking about whether or not Loretta Devine did well playing blind, in this episode.
Really cool.
Sometimes she thinks she had skills. Stacey, did you feel like she held up with her blind act?
She forgot she was a blind in a couple scenes with Lil Murder.
It's like we made me forget that I'm blind, but it don't cure it.
So then we're discussing how blind is she? Like maybe she's like legally blind, which is a totally different thing to being like she certainly was not born blind. It looked like diabetes may have took her sight because she said she was worried about diabetes taking her feet. The sugar.
It looked like more like glaucoma type related.
Yeah. So maybe she's not completely blind. So maybe she saw a little murder moving around and she was like, "Oh, I got you." They were dancing.
I'm just like envisioning her just do it like.
Oh, I see. Well, I see a shadow. Don't do it. Huh?
Exactly. It's P Valley. Is P Valley like that section of town that they're in?
That's a good question.
She was talking about the brothels and everything and how everything else would like flood, but that area would stay good.
Yeah.
I was like keeping them or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm so curious if that was like P Valley was like the little neighborhood that they were in, not necessarily the club.
And then maybe the club just took the name because it was the only thing left. They said, she said all the hoes got pushed to that area, and then eventually it was just, a club that was left. So maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's interesting. And then like for the mayor's secretary to be like she came from there. She got her start there.
He said you were the first one I graduated.
The first hose I
or certificate or something.
I know, right?
A certified.
No, basically the same. No, just like how Mercedes went out. I think that's basically what Clifford was talking about. Just like you were the first one. You know?
It's like a finishing school.
The first one who got out, like who became successful, and like as a stepping stone, you know, like your first job working at a strip club. So that's normal.
Did she put that on her resume to Mayor Ruffin? What was your first job? P-Valley? Oh, yes. You're hired.
Marketing skills, good negotiation skills.
Yeah. Well, she worked the back. I was like, did she dance or was she just the lady that worked the back?
Yeah,
Huh?
Could have been a locker room lady.
I think she was a Latino woman's, you know, predecessor. You know, she sat there and like sold the goods to the ladies. Yeah, I mean, he mentioned, you know, Uncle Clifford mentioned that, you know, she had a place for women with big booties. So I was like, maybe she danced a little bit. Maybe she got tired of that and started working in the back. And so I don't know. But now she's trying to give up the tea. To help.
How old is Clifford then? Because
let's not start that question, man.
Because she looked like much older than him. That's why I was like, I hope you grad. I'm like, you immortal? Like you doing great? Like.
No, she ain't older than Uncle Clifford. I'm saying she in her 40s. I mean, I would put her in her maybe late 30s, maybe early 40s.
40s.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully the actress doesn't see this and like will make it feel bad.
Like I'm 24. Like,
oh shit, my bad.
I'm only 24.
Like, you know, that's a credit to your acting, ma'am. You act way above your age. You know what I'm saying?
You act very mature.
There you go.
Yeah,
very true for your age.
Yeah.
So we don't know how the alumni of P-Valley, maybe as the show goes on, we'll meet other women that, you know, graduated from the club, and moved on to bigger and better things.
Mm-hmm.
So Corbin came up with the idea of leasing the land, not just selling the land. But after his two brothers pulled the gun on him, he was like, you know, either way, bro, you know, it's just money. Yeah. It's just money. But Andre pulled the deal off. So that does that mean he's gonna take that contract back to them and be like,
switch the pages? That's what I got, because he was retyping it and he was signature page with the leasing agreement.
Oh,
kind of, I'm sure illegal, but you know.
So he's gonna go back to Kyle and be like, guess what? We leased it. Well, at some point, the money starts
to file it, and then when it comes out, okay, this is how much you get for the leasing agreement. Like it's already done. They can't do it.
But when they don't get their lump sum of money, and what happens to the extra money? I mean that. So he's gonna have to talk to Kyle either way to be like, hey, I got this deal worked out. So he's gonna have to do that.
Maybe they get like a lump sum up front, and then they get a monthly leasing fee,
stipend,
like a down payment or whatever. I don't know.
And then, so how's he going to work the money out with Kyle? And what's he going to tell Mayor Ruffin about the whole thing? I don't know why Mayor Ruffin was so upset.
That's what I don't get. What is he going to tell his uncle or whatever?
Godfather. So I'm like, but as long as, huh?
How's he going to explain that? Because the point was he wanted to be like the biggest, what did he say? Like the biggest land deal in Mississippi or something?
I think he means the casino itself. Like once the casino comes, but the land is the land. As long as they can build the casino, it shouldn't matter whether the land was sold or leased. But I think he thought that leasing it may put the casino in danger later, that they could come back to be like, hey, we changed our mind. I think.
I mean, the lease is only for, I'm assuming, a certain term, and then after that, they can say, hey, we want our land back, right?
Yeah. They can renegotiate, right? It wasn't a perpetual lease, you know what I'm saying? So that would be interesting to see if that's what happens later. I don't know why Andre was all of a sudden willing to change the deal at the last minute. I don't know why I thought Corbin's idea was so great. Or maybe he may get some more money on the back end. We got looking at that. Also, we saw his wife, who's a doctor, who supports him
back in Atlanta.
And misses him and
all away from home.
And he's like, nah, baby, I gotta go.
That told me everything. When he hung up on her, it's like, babe, wait, click. It's like, oh shit.
I was like, what are we doing, man? Like, you took on this woman on for 2 dates. Are you like, I'm about to leave my wife today?
No, I don't think. No, she didn't. You know, he didn't hang up because of Autumn. You know what I mean? No, he hung up right then and there because it just seemed like he was just tired of the whole bullshit. Like saying you're trying to basically talk about this is my hometown here. She was talking shit, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, that's how I felt like that, you know. Obviously, yes, he does feel some type of way about Autumn, but right then and right there, it wasn't like, oh, Autumn, let me hang up on this hoe. You know what I mean? That wasn't the whole, that's not what that was. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Stacey?
First of all, you're a grown man, you got a wife in Atlanta. You've made your home in Atlanta. You're coming home to visit. Your home is in Atlanta with me, your wife. Period.
Yes.
You done met some little booth thing over there, and now you feeling yourself. And you want to hang up on me because I said I miss you and I want you to come home. And yes, he messed up that deal. They signed a loan agreement, not a leasing agreement. You went and changed it behind your back, behind everybody's back, behind your godfather's back. That wasn't right. And all she was doing is telling me it wasn't right. And now you want to hang up on me? Because you got some little trollop in Mississippi?
You say trollop?
Trollop.
Yo, you know when you finally do subtitles to add on there, man, we're gonna have to start adding that. We're gonna add that to the
word for the day.
I haven't heard that word in so long.
The word for the day is trollop.
Back. Trollop. Oh.
Oh man.
Back with that.
I was like, he's like, she is as educated as Haley. Like, she's oh yeah. So I did tell the team I want to do a video when the season's over. Just some of the things that Haley was like, some things she was dropping. I was like, it's kind of interesting. Like what autumn night is, and some of the other phrases she thought was kind of cool. But anyway, so yeah, she a trop like, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't think Andre would have been as vocal if he didn't have Autumn like right here in his head, like I got options. You know what I'm saying. But he didn't know that Autumn's about to roll out. That being said, Mercedes don't know Autumn's about to roll out. Like, as much as they're bonding and shit, I'm pretty sure Mercedes don't know that Autumn is about to leave. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be interesting if her departure is disrupted by the fact that, that Montavious shows up, or runs into her, or she sees her poster around the damn city, or someone who's been to the club and seen the performance of Autumn Night doesn't go, hey, I know her. Like, I think she's at P Valley. Maybe I should call the cops to see.
How many of those people are going to actually? Let me think about black people. How many of them you think are going to, for one, snitch on a woman, right? Like, and then black people. Yeah. Yeah. What was the reward? I didn't pay attention. What did it say? It just said reward.
I think there was a reward.
Yeah. What was
a reward? Somebody gonna call.
Somebody's gonna call.
What if Uncle Cliff was like, damn, that's how much money I need to keep the club open?
Oh, it ain't no $55,000. I mean, it ain't that kind of money. And then we say again, she I know Montavious ain't dropping that kind of money. And then the question is, why hasn't Montavious cut off the money? Because he can see her pulling the money out. Like all the money should be gone by now. There's only $76,000 left. They did almost 10 transfers this episode, so the money should be almost gone by now. So it's interesting that he's still letting her pull out the money. He's not putting a trace on the money to be like, stop, arrest the person trying to pull this money. I mean, he should be able to do that.
He ain't trying to involve yeah. I'm sorry. What's up, Stacey?
He doesn't want her arrested. He wants her with him.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
For whatever reason.
And clearly that money ain't clean. So like you involve officers to arrest them, like, and they could do, you know what I mean? That's not good. You know what I mean?
Also, it's interesting. Yeah. It's also interesting she has not got robbed. Like, if she has that much money sitting in her very unsecure apartment, in a very poor neighborhood, it's interesting that, much like Set It Off, actually, that that the landlord has not somehow come in there, or somebody seen her do some shady shit and they walk in there, her money's gone. Like, I would like to see a scene like that where she thinks she's good, she's about to roll out there with her money, and all her shit's gone, and she's like, fuck.
I think she's trying to keep it low key, which is why she hasn't even updated her car. I think she's trying to play it real cool, which is what you're supposed to do if you're trying to hide that you got money.
What's up, Stacey? What's wrong?
That car is ridiculous. Yo, I love the part like you see Mercedes like kind of all smiling over towards the camera, and then they zoom out in that beat up looking car, that 3-tone car. I'm like, what? I'm like, wow. Like, what's
there's money flying out the back window. I'm like, y'all been too loose with this money. Like, you're flying out, this $100 bills like flying out the back. Video.
I thought they were shooting a music video. I'm like,
me too. I thought we shoot this for the club. This is for the Pank. Yeah. we shoot a music video for the Pank. And what happened to her cleaning the money through the bank? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
She said she wasn't putting it in the bank, right?
I was like, but she was though. I mean, that's why she.
Well, what you talking about doing the auction? Well, what she was giving advice to Mercedes and say, hey, look, like tell her not to even use regular banks, to just use offshore accounts. So
yeah,
that'd be kind of hypocritical if she said all that just for her to use a local bank.
Which she was. I'm saying something. She was already doing that. Yeah, that's why she was dumping the money with alcohol so she could act like she earned it at the club. And that she was putting the money back into an account. So I'm like, why is she not doing it now? Why does she have a refrigerator full of money and now she's hiding money at a strip club full of a whole bunch of other women who could easily break into that thing and steal that money? And now she's telling Mississippi, like, all of a sudden she trusts her all of a sudden? Like, they ain't best friends. And Mississippi, I mean, she needs money just like anybody else. She stole the money from the woman who passed out giving her a pep talk about Jesus last week.
She didn't steal that money. That money, she want to spend, that woman was going to spend that money. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had that money out there. That's a free-for-all.
Mississippi was steal from Autumn. Okay, like, there's no reason she wouldn't take that money and roll out. Okay, like, they ain't friends at all. Okay, so I mean, she can easily steal that money. She can open her mouth to one of those other girls who don't even talk to Mercedes like to Mississippi like that. I mean, Autumn like that. Excuse me. And they can take her money. It's not a good idea to hide that kind of money at the club. Like, that's just stupid. Like, I mean, if she's not gonna keep it in her room, she needs to put it in the bank or something, or put it in Bitcoin. Apparently.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. What about we saw Candyman come back?
Oh, you wanna? All right.
Candyman. Oh yeah, in the hotel with big homie from the club.
Big L. That's his name. Big L.
Big L. Yeah.
So
which is I thought was interesting because there's a rest in peace to the rapper Big L, but that was a big time rapper named Big L. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but I guess that makes sense. Big L, Big E, Big R, whatever.
There's a lot of biggies. You got Biggie Smalls. A lot of biggies.
Sure.
Oh. but then so Gidget's boyfriend is back in town. Don't want Gidget to know that. Once again, Gidget getting the short end of the stick in this episode. I don't appreciate that.
That poor girl.
But anyway, her man's back in town. And I was asking the question.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think she just thinks that's her man. He might think of it just more of a convenience. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, apparently so.
For her, because I think it's a one way looking at. Like, she looks like, oh, that's my boyfriend, but he's like looking like, nah. Yeah, we bang and shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That relationship seems a little like a one way type of love. If that makes any sense.
No, I totally agree. Obviously, this episode, like she's just someone he visits if he feels like it when he comes back to to Chucalissa.
Yeah, like you said, he didn't even want her to know that she's in town. I'm like, damn. Even when you get all the girls out the room, like not. I was like, that's how. I was like, oh shit, it's like that. I was like, all right.
Also, Candyman's getting high on his own supply, and he's sleeping with his workers, which is not very professional. And it was not good. Cheating on Gidget. I'm sure who's trying to be faithful to this man. That's something you don't do. That's what. Like, even Mercedes had a line like that, saying like, yeah, I don't shit in my own neighborhood. Talking about like, Maine. And he said, nah, I don't do that in my own neighborhood. Like, I was like, all right, see, I was like, you know what? She got morals. Candyman, all that, he dirty. Like, you know what I mean? So, but the reason this scene was important was that Big L is there trying to make some side money to help save the club. Like he and it was interesting, huh?
I thought he was trying to set himself up so when the club closed, he still got some income.
But when Candyman, I'm sure that's not his name, but when the drug dealer Gidget's boyfriend said, what is Uncle Clifford gonna say, about this? His response was, I'll tell her, you saved me from death, and now I'm just trying to do the same. I think, and so I think part of it is like he wants the money to try to save the club. I think. Yeah,
they're running. Yeah, they're obviously like, I think that's the big money laundering through drugs through the club. I think that's basically what that is. Which we all know, looking at TV, like watching shows and movies, that ain't going to end very well. You know what I mean? So, so I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to go. You got the guy that don't have that many lines in it, being in the same scene with another dude who definitely don't have any lines, and y'all make that like a 10-minute scene. Oh, that means that got to be serious. It's gonna equate to something serious.
Two small characters having such a big scene.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. Like nobody was there.
That's true.
Not even the one stripper chick who be shitting from eating all those wings. Like even her, she's more popular than them. Like yeah, like
all right, that's true.
Yeah.
She got gastrointestinal issues, man. Don't shame her because she can't keep on eating wings. What happened to that? Why can't they open a restaurant selling weed covered wings? I mean, that was a good business. You know what I'm saying? Why can't they? Apparently, Andre said we're getting the pink under our $200,000 cap. Like they could get some serious money if they do. They could get some serious money for that club and start a new club. Like they're acting like
not
that.
in that area. That's not what the mayor wants. The mayor don't want it to be in that area. Like that's typically an eyesore, like a casino. Unless you're talking about Las Vegas, you putting a damn strip club near a casino.
But to your point, Las Vegas shows that with casinos comes all their kinds of adult businesses, and a strip club would be just fine. It will be more business. I'm saying they can make a new and improved club somewhere else. I'm saying they don't have to pack up and just be like, we're done stripping. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It could be done. I'm saying. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please join us for our next video. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, share the video. Let us know if one of us went too far. If not, we'll do better next time to push the limits. And let us know what you want us to review after P-Valley is over, because it will be over. We may do some post-season videos and some topics. Please join us for that, and we will see you again. Thanks.